So we're going to actually be talking about that Kamala Harris and the National Association of Black Journalists interview that was going on, where you had the three black people who were talking to Kamala, asking her a series of different questions, like a regular interview. Um, Girl, okay. Can we talk? Because Kamala, she was not looking pleased throughout this whole thing. Let's just go ahead and look at this video of when she's leaving, and it's like, okay. And then we're going to get into another one following that. So here you can actually see it says, I keep telling y'all about Kamala. Now look for yourselves. Okay. Kamala, at the end of her interview with the National Associations of Black Journalists, NABJ, she could not get out of there fast enough. Kamala left frowning. She's a mean girl. Okay. I swear they were limited to their scope of questions. This is the problem. She's been let off the hook so much. You can't ask her substantive questions and look at the journalists' faces at the end. And yes, that's also the thing about it. She could go on ramble, word salad all day until next Tuesday. And then people still be like, "Ooh, yes, queen, yes, black beauty, black excellence, yes." And it's like, are we just gonna let her do this? Okay, but let's go ahead and look at this real quick. Ooh, she don't look happy. None of them do. Okay. So we're actually gonna go and swap to this one right here. And let me just go ahead and read it, and then we're just gonna play the video. It says exactly, it says, watch. Kamala is stumped on the mildest of pushback from a reporter on gun violence. Quote, I myself protested at a gun show. We already know that she owns guns and she loves them because she said if someone comes to my house, they get shot. Oops, I shouldn't have said that, Oprah. Exactly. Did you see her reaction to being challenged on a handgun question? You can tell she is mad. I also want to know where the story of her protesting at the gun show. I'm sure someone would have published a story, but online searches come up empty. So is that even accurate? Just like the Tupac and what was it, Snoop Doggy Dogg? Was that true? We already knew that wasn't true because apparently they weren't even making music like that during that time. So were you actually at the gun show, and which one, boo? But let's go ahead and I'm going to go and play this video and then we will talk.
Where someone can buy a lethal weapon if they've been found by a court to be a danger to themselves or others. You might just want to know.
And respectfully, we do understand that.
But you're asking
Yes.
about...
I'm asking specifically about handguns, because many of those handguns aren't purchased in places.
Checks
Yes.
apply to handguns.
Yes.
They do.
But in many instances, those handguns aren't even bought lawfully. Yes.
Which is why I also have been very adamant for years. In fact, I myself protested at a gun show probably 10, 15 years ago about the gun show loophole and why we need to close that. Because what ends up happening is that gun shows at flea markets, gun dealers are not, under existing law in the past, required to register their sales.
So we're going to go ahead and look at this, and I'm going to break it up as I go.
Someone can buy a lethal weapon if they've been found by a court to be a danger to themselves or others. You might just want to know.
And respectfully, we do.
So she said if you have been found to be a danger to others, you're still able to go and buy a lethal weapon, a gun, okay? And then this is when the female journalist, she is then saying like, okay, let me go and tell you, at the end of the day, yes, that's true, but a lot of these criminals, they're not getting guns in a sports academy or one of these gun stores. They're getting them off the streets. So what would be happening is you have a more than likely legitimate person buying from a gun auction, gun show, gun store place, one of those markets. which, let's keep it real, because they don't really require background checks. It could be legitimate or not. Okay, it could be either one. I could go over there, and then let's say I go over there, no criminal record, nothing like that, and then I go and sell it to Ray Ray on the streets. The whole point is, let's get these guns out. But let's continue.
You understand that.
But you're asking
Yes.
about.
I'm asking specifically about handguns, because many of those handguns aren't purchased in places.
Checks
Yes.
apply to handguns.
Yes.
They do.
But in
And
many instances,
And during this whole thing, you can obviously see that she's getting annoyed. And you could say, okay, well, she kind of cut her off. Yeah, but because Kamala likes to do this thing where she just gives you words, and it's like this whole word salad kind of thing that she does, where she just talks and rambles, and she gets off the topic. And then it's like, yeah, that's cute and all, but I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about this. So how are you going to specifically address this? And then it's always like, well, I mean, I will, but here she seems annoyed. So let's just rewind this since it's only 20 seconds. Let's just rewind it.
For someone can buy a lethal weapon if they've been found by a court to be a danger to themselves or others. You might just want to know.
and respectfully, we do understand that.
But you're asking
Yes.
about.
I'm
you're
asking specifically about handguns, because many of those handguns aren't purchased in places.
Checks
Yes.
apply to handguns.
Yes.
They do.
But in
And
many instances, those handguns aren't even bought lawfully. Yes.
Which is why I also have been very adamant for years.
And before we even get to that point, this goes back to one of the questions that I've been having. Where are these guns coming from? I actually seen a news piece. It was in some town, I can't remember which one, and it was this one particular officer who was in charge of all the confiscated guns. Apparently they were selling them to people. Like this wasn't a professional organization. He was just straight up selling it to all these other people, whoever was buying them, that may pretend to be legitimate, but that then brings the guns right back onto the street. This is what I always wondered. Okay, you get drugs off the street. Where does that go? You get money off the street. Where does that go? You get guns off the street. Where does that go? Because I remember reading a news story probably last year now. Maybe it was last year now. And here they were saying they were selling these or sending these confiscated guns for the buyback program that was going on. And they were actually sending them over to Ukraine. So I was like, huh. So you guys aren't like melting these things down and just getting rid of them at all. You're just sending them over. So what this lady's saying, this journalist, she's saying, okay, we know a lot of these criminals that have guns, they're getting them off the street. So a background check ain't going to do anything if it's in a dark alley with the guy in a trench coat going like, you want this, you want this. That's not going to work. So how are we going to address the issue? And Kamala can't seem to answer that. So
I also have been very adamant for years. In fact, I myself protested at a gun show probably 10, 15 years ago about the gun show loophole and why we need to close that. Because what ends up happening is that gun shows at flea markets, gun dealers are not, under existing law in the past, required to register their sales.
So that's one of the things that I do want to know. Like, was she actually protesting at one 10, 15 years ago? Because, I mean, for you to be a prosecutor and whatnot, that should be everywhere, but I guess not. So I just wanted to go and bring up what that actually means. I just typed in gun loophole and says, what is a gun seller loophole? Gun show loophole, also called the private sale exemption, is a political term in the United States referring to the sale of firearms by private sellers, including those done at gun shows that do not require the seller to conduct a specific federal background check of the buyer. So really, you could be Ray Ray, you could be someone who has mental health illnesses. If you even checked it out, you probably didn't even go and get therapy or whatever kind of medications that you need. And then now you're out doing whatever it is that you want to do and buying a weapon. So there's all these different little things that come into play. I think the main issue of this is the fact that you're making it seem, Kamala's making it seem like criminals behave in the same manner to which a regular law-abiding citizen would. We know that's not true. So she's making it seem as though that is accurate. Yeah, of course. They're acting just how you would, Alex. These criminals. No, they're not. Where are the guns coming from? Why are they out on the street? How are they acquiring them? Why have the guns not been destroyed and melted down? How come there's no kind of weird tax or some kind of law put into place? Gun manufacturers, you can't make X amount of bullets or X amount of guns, whatever. How come we're not doing anything about it? Because we keep saying, okay, we need our guns, we need our guns, we need our guns. But then you turn around and say, yeah, I mean, we got to do some school drill shooting stuff. I mean, we got to just do this. I mean, we got to go and make sure all of our cars are bulletproof. Yeah, how about we address the issue? No? Let me know what y'all think down below. Hello, hello, hello. I would greatly appreciate it if you can actually support my little small business called Latrice Limited. It is on latricelimited.com. So as you can see right here, I actually sell candles and a wide variety of other items as well. This is my big forehead, okay? But I actually want to show you just a couple of different items that I do sell. This is actually going to be a part of my soap collection that I have. As you can see, I have a variety of different soaps on here. I actually have 2 pages worth of soaps, and everything is handmade, okay, natural, clean ingredients as well. You can also see right here, these are my candles. All right, they're all handmade, everything vanilla, sweet roses, sage and vanilla and sweet roses are actually my favorite scents that I do have. I also have a few other items on here. I'm actually going to go and show you all the bath bombs that I do have. As you all can see, there's eucalyptus and sage, sweet pea harmony, and so many more. And then we're just going to finish off on the gift sets that I have. There's a variety of them, from like the big ones like this for $45, and then you have some of the smaller ones, and you have these itty bitty ones down here that includes essential oil blends. Definitely shop with your girl. Definitely help your girl out. I would greatly appreciate it. This is like my little baby over here, okay? I would greatly appreciate it, and enjoy.